with everything going on in the world right now, we're so used to, oh, well, athletes have to speak out about everything. Athletes need to make their voices heard. And of course, that's what we're having with the Ukraine-Russia situation. And there's a lot of Russian athletes who, some of them are making their voices heard, but some of them are being pressured to make their voices heard. And I just think it's a little bit fucking ridiculous, to be honest with you. I wanted to go through a couple like the more like interesting things that we've seen. So Poland has refused to play a World Cup game against Russia in Moscow. And then, of course, I think Finland or Sweden, I think Sweden said, if we have to play Russia at all, we're not going to play that game, saying that we're not going to play anyone associated with Russia anymore because of everything that's going on. You had this Russian athlete, this Russian tennis player who wrote no more war or no war, please on the camera following a win in this tennis tournament. Clay Travis kind of praising him for his bravery or whatever. But then Alex Ovechkin has been under a ton of pressure because Alex Ovechkin in Russia is huge. Like, you know, one of the greatest hockey players that's playing right now, has had a very incredible career. So he's been under a ton of pressure, not from Russian media, but of course from all other Western media to come out there, denounce what's going on, all of this stuff. And he finally spoke out and just said, please, no more war. But that wasn't enough. Now he's under fire. People are saying the NHL needs to suspend Russian players, and slams Alex Ovechkin as a chicken shit because he avoided criticizing Putin while reiterating his calls for peace.
Oh, boy.
So you're demanding that they speak about it. You're demanding that athletes speak on a fucking war that's going on that has nothing to do with them, nothing to do with sports, but you're demanding they speak on it. And when they do, when they say something like, I wish for peace, I hope everyone can come to terms, I hope there can be peace, then you fucking slam them and say they're not saying the right thing. And you want to suspend people just because of their nation of origin. That's what's going on in sports.
That's pretty crazy right there.
It's really absolutely insane. Like, I'm so tired of this Russia-Ukraine thing, and everybody's an expert. Everybody's an expert on this topic now, suddenly. What did I say on my video that I made on? I don't care about Ukraine. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I understand the inner workings of all of this. I'm not going to sit there and pretend that I give a shit. I care about how it affects the United States. I care about how these things affect the United States, and I firmly believe that this would be happening if Donald Trump was our president. That's almost a fact. We had 4 years of Trump, and none of this happened.
There's a poll out there that confirms all this too. The way Americans think anyway.
And it's just like these people, man, they're just like, I'm going to try to find that meme I'm talking about that I filled up on Friday Night Tights, but it's like they're all just pretending that they're experts on this topic. It's the same NPC behavior we've seen every time. These people are nothing more than just seals clapping. That's all they are.
And you have so many people spreading misinformation. You want to talk about misinformation and all the stuff that social media has been, they're very keen to take down when it had to do with COVID over the past 2 years. You have people sharing images and videos that are literally like 8 years old, 5 years old. All the images you see of the Ukrainian president walking around in like tactical gear. That's not right now. That's from 2021. Like images of him like visiting troops during training stuff. That's what that's from. You can like the guy or whatever, but stop sharing this shit out there and pretending like it's real when it's not.
Yep.
And it's so many blue check marks. So many people are spreading misinformation because it aligns with what they want to believe. And that's part of the thing. If you think that Ukraine is somehow not going to do any propaganda or anything like that, they censor their press. They censor their media. They arrest their political opponents. They are Russia light at the end of the day.
You want to know why? Because they were part of Soviet Union. There were a bunch of communists over there.
Yeah. And like when it comes to the people of Ukraine, I wish for nothing but the best for them. I don't want anybody to get hurt. And if someone in a Russian, in a Russian military uniform comes up, you're damn right. I think that every Ukrainian should defend themselves.
I find it funny
though. This is not an American problem, and this is not a athlete problem. Why are athletes being asked about this shit? And it's like, if Ovechkin were to come out and say something and like vilify Putin, there's a good chance his entire fucking family could get wiped out. But you want him to speak out about it
because his family's still over there in Russia.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to pretend I know all the inner workings of it. What I am going to say is blue check mark Twitter making a fool of themselves, as always.
I mean, to truly understand this, man, you got to understand the Russian Empire, the Bolsheviks, the Soviet Union, the fall of it goes way back to at least 1991. And I don't even know if Ovechkin was even born then, to tell you the truth.
And this is one of the things that's pissing me off the most. Right to bear memes again. 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. Mainstream media is fake news over and over again. Until now, you don't believe everything mainstream media is reporting about Ukraine. That's where we're at right now in the timeline. And it's all being interwoven with sports and these athletes. And I don't think anybody should have to answer for that. I don't think that a prominent Russian hockey player has anything to do with whatever Vladimir Putin is deciding to do halfway across the country or halfway across the world, because it doesn't. And I think they need to be stopped. The press needs to stop putting these people on the spot to answer things about geopolitical things when they're just a fucking hockey player. That's at the bottom line. That's what he is. He doesn't need to be advising on military movements or political things. He's a fucking hockey player. Go out there and play hockey.
This is the media. This is what they've created.
Yeah.
They have forced it to where they want to force athletes to speak up. And then when that athlete says what they don't want them to say, then they trash them. So essentially they're trying to force athletes to say what they want them to say.
Yeah.
It's
just like the media,
insane.
the media is trying to blame this whole thing on Trump now. Trump's been out of office for 13 months and it's still trying to blame it on him.
Yeah.
That's what they do.